and welcome back to Devils United. Today we'll be doing an England preview as they take on France in the quarterfinals. And we've got James. James, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Very good, thank you. Absolutely loving the Argentina top.
Yeah, I got this about a month ago, and I'm covering the game later on another channel, so I thought I might as well put it on.
Are you got anyone on the back?
Yeah, Messi's on the bet.
Could have guessed, of course.
Yeah.
So, before we get on to the preview, just quickly jump into the comments. Hey there, Niall. Hope you're well. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, definitely a massive shot with Croatia. Hey there, it's a couples thing. Hope you are well. Hey there, Henry. I'm well, thank you. How are you? Yeah, Brazil out. It's absolutely crazy. Allison wasn't great at pens. Hey there, just me. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. And hey there to Ravi. I hope you're well. Thanks for coming in. I've popped your comments already in, so we'll go on to them soon in terms of the questions. So we'll first off go with England. The last game against Senegal because they won 3-0.
Yeah.
What did you think of that game for you, James?
First off, I thought it was a little bit uneven. I felt that Senegal was on top at times. Just Pickford kept England in it, and he has done quite a few times. Since he got a bit frustrated with his defence for letting them get through a couple of times, but second half, Southgate's tactically got it spot on. He got three goals at the end of the day. He took a few risks in the team by putting Henderson in there, for example, but we ended up getting that win, and it showed that he was willing to change things up. And as long as he's changing up for the right reasons, then it's okay for now. But France obviously has got to change it even more because we're facing one of the best sides in the world.
Definitely, I completely agree with you. And when I did first see the lineup, I wasn't particularly thrilled about Jordan Henderson. I made that known to myself, that to other people, that I'm not a fan of Jordan Henderson, and I think they
No.
could have been different in the midfield. But I think it was especially in that first half an hour as well. Senegal was definitely on top. But I think if they had Sadio Mane in that squad, it would have been a whole different story for us.
Yeah, I mean, losing him was a big blow for Senegal. They got that Boulaye Dia guy. He's been at West Ham before, by the way, and he's a very decent player. They have still a lot of good players. They had won the Africa Cup of Nations very recent, last team to win it, so they're not a muggy team. And I said they'd be like a bit of a dark horse in this tournament. And now they gave England pretty decent first half running. If Mane had been there, things could have obviously been different. He would have been. They'd had more like talismanic player in the team, but that is what it is. He's injured. He didn't make the World Cup. It's sad for him. In a way, it worked to England's advantage because England got through without worrying about Mane and actually got through quite comfortably in the end.
Definitely, I completely agree. Did you end up watching as well the France game when France played Poland?
I don't think I did. No, it's too early in the morning. I've been working night before, and
Yeah.
I couldn't be asked to get up.
Well, that's fair enough. I know I did watch it.
Hey, squeaky.
Poland, for me, they were absolutely poor, but I think they was also lucky to get into the round of 16, if you want me to be fairly honest. I don't think they played absolutely brilliantly, but France, they had the masterclass there of Mbappe. Giroud's been on great form as well, so they played brilliantly, France, but I think both sides, it's going to be different coming into the game, as you've already have touched on that slight bit. Hey there, John. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. And am I doing a watch along for the game? I'll be going on John Sinclair's channel for that, so that's where the watch along will be on. So you can check me and John out on John Sinclair TV. That's where we'll be doing the watch along. But in terms of the entire tournament itself, I actually think minus the USA game, I would say all the Southgate's tactics has actually been on point.
Yeah, he's got it right. I mean, he's got the players to play in a certain way, and when he's changed it up. It's been good. Like, look at Phil Foden. I was saying Foden's got to start in this England team because he's too technically gifted and versatile to be benched. Rashford's been in good form for Man United. He deserves to start a few games. Henderson starting may have just been someone who can press a little bit and maybe hold down the line against Senegal. That was okay, fair enough. Bellingham has been fantastic, playing in a pivot role with Declan Rice. And I'm seeing a lot of progressive play from Bellingham, and he's been exceptional as well. Maguire has been good for England, but just flops at Man United for some reason. Luke Shaw's been good for England as well. We've had a good defence, and Pickford's absolutely starting keep for England without a doubt because of how good he is. And so he's got these very good players at hand. I think he's just finding ways to use them for the right way, because this is one of the best and youngest England teams in a long time, and it'd be a terrible thing to waste all that talent.
I completely agree with that. And looking at the England how they've played so far, a lot of people have said in the chat in the past is that Gareth Southgate is a very defensive minded. We don't score a lot of goals, but I think he has proved himself differently in the tournament. He can change from 3-5-2, like the 3 at the back or 5 at the back, as people want to say.
Yeah.
He can play possession-based football because the majority of the games we have played a 4-3-3 football, and it's worked out great for England, and it also worked out great for England as well when we played a 4 at the back for the Euros.
Yeah, I mean, playing as 4 at the back generally is good enough for England because you got your best players there. You can play a decent left back, 2 decent centre backs, and a decent right back. Your right back may be either Walker, Trippier, Alexander-Arnold. Your centre backs are probably going to be Maguire and Stones for now. People wanted Maguire and Keane. Those people are like as intelligent as a dishwasher, and that's insulting the dishwasher. A left back, you got Luke Shaw, who can obviously play a good, solid role. 1 minute. Hey, you stop squeaking. We got him this new toy and he's squeaking like mad. What was I saying? Yeah, 4 at the backs. Still England's forte, I think. 5 at the back might be considered against France, but with Walker playing like an RCB, maybe have a few wing backs in there to assist your full-backs. It's going to have to probably change against France because you're going to be facing a team with a lot of pace on that attack. You've got to deal with Mbappe, Giroud, Griezmann, these kind of guys, and they're not exactly slow coaches. So we've got to change our defence up, I think, and that might be key to winning it because defence will win us this game.
I must be honest, I have never once heard anyone say they wanted Keane with Maguire. I never thought that I would ever hear that. But I did hear a lot of I've never heard that. Not once.
No, Keane and Maguire is just a horrific defensive combo.
It is horrific. But a lot of people wanted Tomori in the squad.
Yeah, he was robbed.
Who would you have put him in instead of then?
Cody, to be honest.
I don't know, because Cody, for me, he's played well at Everton. So I don't think he's been so bad. So a part of me thinks he could have got in there over Maguire, but then Maguire's experience as well.
It's a tough one. Cody's probably just a depth option because he's been solid for Everton. He's been very good for Everton. And it's actually been Wolves has lost him losing because they've lost a leader and what arguably their best defender. And who have they got? I don't even know who they've got in their centre backs. Wolves right now.
Wolves have got Kilman as one of the options. They've got Collins, who they bought from Burnley.
Who's been shite? Hey, come here. And yeah, I mean Tarkowski is a decent option. I wouldn't. West Ham was linked with Tarkowski for a while, but I would not have taken him because of his age, and we're trying to get younger players in. Still a good defender though, but not for me. I think it's that experience as well, and that's actually a point. England has to have experienced players in the team. That's why I think it went wrong in 2018. The lack of experience. You're lacking your veterans. Like, for example, if you'd have put, say, Rooney in there with, say, younger players coming up, you'd have had that experience. That's just that's a kind of an example. But
I agree, and for me, I've always said the teams that have that win tournaments who are the best players are the best teams who are ones who got better at everything in, and that's why people thought Brazil was one of the would have won the World Cup, me included, because even though they've got young players in the team, they still got experienced ones of like Thiago Silva.
Yeah, they do. They have players like that who can, they got players like that who've been there and done that. They got, Dani Alves, Thiago Silva, and that's why I'm shocked Brazil's out, because it had so much experience in that team.
That's just the only problem. I thought Brazil was going to win. I thought it was going to be narrow, but I said if Croatia goes to penalties, they'll win it.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I had Brazil because I was obviously looking at Brazil for Lucas Paqueta. Obviously, United's got Casemiro, Fred, and Anthony there, so both keep an eye on it. I'm gutted for Paqueta. All right, crazy. And yeah, I'm gutted Brazil's out, really, because it was my favourite to win it with the players it had. Because this was the best Brazil team in a long time. Dunga's Brazil, he had all that class in that team, like Ronaldinho, Robinho, who else did he have? Julio Cesar, guys like that, and he didn't know how to use them properly. Tite knew how to use that Brazil team properly. Look at what he achieved, winning a Copa America, dropping Firmino and Coutinho, because Coutinho plays for Villa, so that's probably why. And Firmino was a bit of a surprise. But regardless, Brazil had an excellent team with a lot of talented players. So Charlison's coming through like R9 literally reborn, except just with the chicken thing. And Paqueta playing in deep role and things like that. So I'm going to miss Brazil this tournament. I'm sad they've been knocked out, to be honest. It's heartbreaking. I'm going to miss them and all the drums and the dancing and their like footwork that they do in the dressing room when they're banging the drums and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. But there's still France. What have you thought of France so far in terms of their World Cup? Because for me, this chance, I don't think that, even though he's had a lot of injuries, I'm not overly convinced of the entire squad. I know they've got the Mbappe and Giroud, who are great players, but I'm not overly keen on Dembele. I don't.
No.
Minus Varane, I don't think they've got a fantastic defense, and apart from Tuchemene, I don't think they have a great midfield either. I think it's a beatable team.
Our team's really beatable. I mean, France, it's not like it's the Arsenal Invincibles 2004. They had two very French players in their team at the time. So they are a very beatable team. I think they have been destroying a lot of teams in their group because they've had it quite easy in their group. In all honesty, they haven't had major threats. But they have, they've beaten Poland to get to this next stage. They've beaten so many. Kobe, I'm losing my track of thought because of you squeaking your ball. Stop. No. Sorry, Kobe is being annoying. What was I saying? Fuck. Yeah, they've had an easy group. They've had a pretty easy group, and they haven't just been beating teams narrowly. They've beaten teams like 4-1, 3-1. That's been the difference. It's just been scoring the goals, really, for them. It's not anything else.
It's one of them, what, for France, I don't know if you agree, it's like, they're one of them, like, well, I'm not too fussed because I haven't got a good defence, but I can score 3 more goals than you and I can win this game.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, it's just to make up for the goals with Mbappe and Giroud and Griezmann, those guys. And Giroud and Griezmann are knocking on. So they're going to have as the next strikers. Giroud's 36 and is already France's all-time top goal scorer. I would never think that, given that I absolutely hated him when he played in the Premier League and thought he was absolute dog crap. So now he's all proven us wrong somehow. Maybe it's the Chelsea and Arsenal effect. I don't know. Griezmann, I've always liked, to be honest. And Mbappe, I think, is going to be the next world's best player, if he's not the best player in the world, since Messi and Ronaldo are in the winter of their careers. So it's a very good France team. It just has a few individuals, but midfield-wise, yeah, Tuchemeni's world-class, coming up to that level. Varane isn't even gone to the World Cup. Rabiot, they've got guys like Rabiot, Hernandez, Lloris. Still a good team, to be honest. So that's why they got far. They're still a very good team. Oh, no. Here. That's my answer.
That's fine. Yeah, I completely agree with that in terms of France and the likes of Tunisia was able to break down France without even scoring a goal. And I think if we was able to get the right tactics of how Tunisia has done, and
Sorry.
I know it's okay, and I know that
You're annoying.
from what I've been hearing in terms of Kane and Southgate, they're saying they've been training for this game for 2 years against France to see how we play against them. So hopefully we do get the best out of it. We will go on to some questions what people had. Zaddy's asked the first question: is 5 at the back more suited? I don't like the phrase 5 at the back when it's
I don't.
only.
Oh man, no. It's a David Moyes masterclass. That disaster class rather.
I don't think Southgate plays more like a 3-4-2. I think a 3-4-2-1 would be a great option to play against. Play against France. As you've mentioned, Walker is a right centre back, Trippier as the wing back, and then I would actually drop Jordan. I'd drop Jordan Henderson.
I would. I don't want him in the team at all.
I don't want him in there. But would you go to 3 at the back?
Tempting. Personally, no. I wouldn't. I'd stay 4 at the back just because we don't want to be too wide open at the back.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically it, really. I don't want us to risk being too wide open at the back.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's fair enough. Niall asked, do England need to double up on Mbappe with his lightning pace? Kyle Walker has played against Mbappe, and even though Kyle Walker's not been on the best of form, he knows how to handle Mbappe as well.
Hopefully. I mean, when you say double up, I don't mean like 2 men on him at once. We could get. It's not just going to be him that we mark. Don't forget, when he's running, he's got players who are probably following in line with him as well. So you got to keep tabs on them. He's just part of the problem, if you could call it a problem.
Mm-hmm. But if we was able to isolate his space, it's going to be fine. He needs space to run. So, otherwise, I'd actually think he'd probably be quiet for the majority of the game because he's one of them. He likes to cut in. Giroud tends to feed for himself because Mbappe likes to cut in and score. And Dembele, he's always non-existent on the pitch.
I haven't really thought about Dembele, to be honest with you, because I actually keep forgetting he plays for France because I don't even see him that much. Exactly. It's for example, I forget that Aaron Cresswell even exists. It exists going on the pitch, going every 5 seconds, and confusing the hell out of Lucas Paqueta with what he's saying. So because when he plays for West Ham, he doesn't exist. It's like, for example, I'm not Man United, who's non-existent, but like, for example, Jadon Sancho went missing a few times last season and had a missing persons report filed against him nearly, with a reward, the receipt to send him back to Borussia Dortmund or wherever it is he came from. So obviously we've had players sometimes that go missing in the team. Dembele, for example, has gone missing. That's the point I'm trying to make. He went missing. I don't even know he's there. And to be honest, I don't even know a lot of the France players are even there most of the time because the spotlight's taken off them. It's all the same guys we just mentioned.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I completely agree. How do England cope with France's defence from Rather? I don't think for me France's defence is anything bad. So I think we could cope with it.
Yeah, I think we can cope pretty well.
Because the only wonder is Varane. And apart from that, no one else really bothers me. Defence-wise.
No, not really.
Hey there, I like coffee. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. Henry's asked a good question going off topic. Are Brazil needing an overhaul of players or a manager? I don't think they need either.
Tite's stepping down after this World Cup anyway.
Oh, really?
That's what he said he was going to do. So who's going to be the next head coach? Get Dunga back in? No, thank you. I don't know who's going to be their next head coach, to be honest with you. They're going to have someone Brazilian, obviously, but I don't know who it could be. They don't need an overall of players. That's absolutely no chance. No chance to need an overall of players. They got a fantastic group as it is. So no, it's probably just going to be the manager, but they didn't really need either, basically. The manager's stepping down out of his own choice, not because they've been knocked out of the World Cup. He's resigning by his own choice.
I didn't even know that. First I heard of that. Niles asked who you're backing in the World Cup. Now one of the favourites, Brazil are out. I've always backed England. Who are you backing in the World Cup, James? This World Cup.
I don't even know anymore. I don't even know right now. To be honest, it's too unpredictable. It's too unpredictable.
Exactly.
It's either Portugal or Argentina now for me. I'm so if not England.
Yeah, I think if I was if it wasn't England, I'd probably want Portugal to win. But anyone could beat anyone at this point, and I've always said it's how the team turns up on the day. Because if you looked at each team on paper, Brazil by far was winning that World Cup. And
it was.
they
I
got
was
overhyped
confident
for
to win.
months.
I was confident with it. I had 10 shots on target against Croatia, and I was like, "What the hell, man?"
Well, it's crazy.
Yeah.
John said England to win the World Cup. I hope so.
We hope.
Yes, we hope. Brendan's
we can dream if we beat France. We can now dream. If you ask me.
Yes, exactly.
We'll have knocked out a big dark. We'll have knocked out a big giant of the tournament. It's a confidence boost, and also it's one less thing to worry about.
Brendan's in the chat as well, and Brendan's absolute spot on. France have weaknesses. They didn't have much weaknesses in the last World Cup, so we got to play that to our advantage.
Yeah, exactly.
I like Coffee said Neymar's goal had to deserve to be the winning goal. It was a great goal.
And Paqueta got the assist.
He did. He did get the assist. So let's say, Ravi said, "Can England cut through France's midfield?" Yes, it's not a good midfield minus Tukameni, and Tukameni is still only young, and his lack of experience. We could also take that to advantage because Declan Rice has played one more tournament as a starting 11 player than Tukameni. Jude Bellingham has had the experience to play first starting 11 Borussia Dortmund team for a few years. Calvin Phillips has even played tournament football now. Jordan Henderson is an older, experienced player. So realistically, on paper, we've got a bit better midfield.
Yeah, we do. And a younger midfield as well. You've got more of a dynamic midfield and a diverse midfield. France doesn't have that as such.
Exactly. I'll go on to the France team anyway soon.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Kobe, behave.
Hey there, Nippon. I hope you're well.
Sorry,
Thank
he's
you
being
for coming
absolutely
in.
wild.
Oh, don't worry about it. Nippon has asked how do I feel about wanting Varane to have a bad game? It's always when it's World Cup, you want your country to win. So I love Varane. I want him to come home ready for Man United, but I want England to win the World Cup as well. So it's just one of them. Ravi said thoughts on the France's keeper, which of course will be Hugo Lloris. I think he's good, but he's not brilliant.
No.
It's okay. Their best goalkeeper's injured of Mike Megan from AC Milan. For me. So I don't think they brought their best goalkeeper coming. John, I have put on James's YouTube channel on the description. So you should be able to find it. So I'm going to put James's YouTube link again for you. So if you haven't already, you can go and subscribe to James. So if you give me one moment, I'll put that in the chat. There you go. So I've put your link also in the chat as well as in the description. So if you haven't already, go and subscribe to James's channel. I've put your YouTube channel in the description in the chat for people to subscribe to you, James.
What?
Hey there, Lanzel. I hope you're well. Thanks for coming in. I think if we beat France, we could be in the final. I think that is a strong possibility as well. And final question from Ravi: thoughts on Pickford so far? I think Pickford has never really had a bad game as an England number one. As much as he's not great for club, he's great for country, and he doesn't deserve to be taken off that number one spot for me. What about you, James? What's your thought on Pickford?
Sorry. Yeah, Pickford's I think he's England's best starting goalkeeper, and if not, you got Nick Pope, who's just been as good.
Mm-hmm.
And Aaron Ramsdale's been pretty good for Arsenal as well. You have good goalkeeping options, but for me, it's always going to be Pickford because he makes fantastic, crucial saves when need be. He was key to Everton staying up last season. He made crucial saves in wins over Chelsea and Man United.
Mm-hmm.
In those games, made massive moments like that. And he's not just a goalkeeper that's known for his moments. And that's like what Mourinho said to Dele Alli in the documentary. Some players are known for moments. Pickford's not just known for moments. He's known for being a consistently fantastic goalkeeper. And that's why England's lucky to have him.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. I think for me, he's very underappreciated by a lot of the England fan base because of the size of his arms. But I've always said, even though we've got great goalkeepers, I'm not overly convinced of Aaron Ramsdale, if you want me to be honest. But Nick Pope is fantastic, but Pickford's never had a bad game as an England player, so he hasn't had no reason to get dropped, realistically.
And what Pickford? No, he doesn't have any reason to be dropped. If it ain't broke, you don't fix it. So don't drop him.
Yeah, exactly.
Easy.
And I'm not one for changing goalkeepers either.
I don't know. I don't believe in it.
I don't think it works. But what we'll do anyway, we will look at the France called up squad. We'll go into it a little bit of detail here as well. So they've got goalkeepers of Lloris, Areola, and Mandanda from Rennes. You know Areola very well. He's your number 2 goalkeeper, isn't he?
Soon to be number 1 goalkeeper.
Okay. When do you think that will be? Like next season, he'll probably be number 1.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So that's the goalkeepers, and they've got a defence there of Pavard from Bayern Munich, Jules Koundé, Rafael Varane, Theo Hernandez from AC Milan, Luca Hernandez from Bayern Munich.
I think he's done for the tournament, Luca Hernandez.
Yes. There will be a couple who's injured on this one.
Yeah.
Benoit from Monaco. Phil. Oh, thank you. Phil and Mendy from Real Madrid, Diot from Bayern Munich, Kanate from Liverpool, and Saliba from Arsenal. What do you think of that goalkeeper and defence?
I actually forgot all those players are even in there, but blooming heck, that actually has got decent goalkeepers and defence depth. But the only real decent keeper is Lloris. Areola's a good goalkeeper, maybe not for the national team as such. Pavard, class player. Koundé, class player. Varane, good player. Hernandez's, they're decent. Badiashile, who is linked with West Ham. I mean, we're linked with everyone on the planet, so that's probably just not a fair thing to say. He's good as well. Mendy's decent, very good. Upamecano, Upamecano, decent. Kanate, good. Saliba's had to wait all that time to play for Arsenal, and he's deserved a World Cup call-up. So I actually completely forgot about this team until you showed me that. So yeah, it's changed my opinion now a little bit.
To be honest, I forgot about a couple of them. I know Ravi yesterday, he was talking about Kanate. Do you think Kanate should be starting in that centre-back position with Varane's being played? There's no doubts about that because he always plays for France. But who would you put as the other centre-back? Because there's, of course, Koundé, there's Kanate and Saliba. So I don't think Saliba's played a minute yet.
No, it's just about who's been playing well and who's going to get the starting position because they're playing well. Those guys are there to back them up. I wouldn't see something like Saliba starting over Varane, not especially when everything's on the line in the knockout stages.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Theo Hernandez. I think he is a great fullback. He will be definitely someone to look out for. But yeah, we'll go into the midfield now. There's some names on here too. There's not that many midfielders considering. There's Camavinga, Fofana from Monaco, Guendouzi, Tukamene, Rabiot, and Jordan Vergao from Marseille.
They've only got 2 good midfielders there, Tukamene and Rabiot, and Veratu's a Villa flop.
Rabiot is not even good.
He's not even good. He didn't impress me when he played for Villa, like blooming heck.
I think Guendouzi's in there though. I think he's been playing well for Marseille. He's supposed to be on good form, but there wasn't a chance he would have got in if Kante and Pogba was never injured. Tchouaméni, I don't think would have been starting either over the pair of them. Rabiot, I think he's a massive flop. Fofana from Monaco, I don't know. I haven't watched much of him myself. I think it's a very weak midfield for me.
It is a weak midfield.
That for me is the area is where you're going. As if I was looking at it from Gareth Southgate's point of view, that would be an area where I'd massively exploit.
You can, yeah. I don't think Rabiot and Tchouaméni are very pacey players, but they have got a lot of intelligence about them. We can get through that midfield. I think we can cut through that midfield, to be honest with you.
Exactly. And we've got the pace of Foden. We've got the pace of Saka if he starts, Rashford if he starts.
Rice can carry the ball forward long distances.
Yeah, he is very good with his long through balls as well. Declan Rice. I want to ask you a question about Declan Rice, just going off topic a little bit. People think Declan Rice is playing more now as a box-to-box than defensive midfielder. Would you say that is the case?
He has been for the last 2 seasons. So, yes, definitely. He's been playing as a box-to-box for the last two seasons because Souček's utter shit.
So, do you think he's better as a box-to-box than defensive?
Yeah. I do.
Okay. I wasn't too sure, to be honest. I thought he still played that defensive kind of role as well. But because you know that he can drop back and he can defend and break up play. That's another good thing about Declan Rice. He can do a bit of everything. But then there's the forwards there. He's actually been taken off Benzema for one. But there's Dembele, Giroud, Griezmann, Mbappe, Kolo Muani, and Kingsley Coman. Yet again, I'm not overly convinced, apart from Mbappe and Giroud.
No, I'm not either. Griezmann's not as clinical as people make him out to be. Not anymore, he's not. I've never heard of Randall Kolo Muani before.
Neither have I.
Kingsley Coman, I don't think he's one of the most rated players in Europe, to be honest with you. He's a good player, but he's not good enough to be highly raved about. And Giroud, him and Mbappe are the 2 best ones there. Coman's and Griezmann don't excite me too much.
And it doesn't matter if Coman or Dembele start, because one of them's going to go on the bench.
Right.
When I look at who they've got attacking and midfield wise as their substitute options, I look at that and go, am I really that scared when I've got the likes of Grealish on the bench, when I have got either Rashford or Saka on the bench, or I've got Phil Foden and Mason Mount on the bench?
We got good midfielders. That's the thing. We've got ball-playing, progressive midfielders. They don't really have that option because Tchouaméni's a defensive mid. Guendouzi's like a central mid. They don't move enough.
Exactly. I agree with what you've been saying about Kingsley Coman, because a lot of people have rated him so much, and I think I used to watch him all the time, and I used to think, what's so great about this kid? He's not even good enough for me to start in the Bayern Munich.
He's not going to get a game in Bayern Munich team. He doesn't start over like Gnabry and guys like that.
No,
I don't think he's that great. Maybe it's the team he's playing for and the fact there's too much competition there. I'm not sure what it is. But he doesn't exactly wow me.
He doesn't wow me either. But overall, now we've looked at that squad, is there any surprise ones there for you, or are you still thinking?
No surprises, man.
No, I don't think it's I know we've gone into a bit of detail. I'm not overly convinced of this team. And as I've said, I think it's still a doable team to beat.
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely. We'll jump back into the comments now. I Like Coffee has a question. Will England play attacking football or passive against France? A part of me, I don't know, because a part of me thinks that they may play counter-attacking football because France is more for playing possession-based football.
I don't like possession-based football too much. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't think it works for the England team. It doesn't work in the Premier League. So England shouldn't adopt a passive mentality. Go at France and get them where it hurts.
Yes. Tom is in the chat. Hey there, Tom. I hope you're well. Thanks for coming in. Nick Pope, good shot stopper, but terrible distribution.
He's a well-rounded goalkeeper, though.
I don't think he's the worst at distribution, though. David De Gea is 10 times worse than him.
Yeah. Exactly.
Ravi said, for me, it all depends how England start the game. And it's going to matter in the first 20 minutes. I think England, they've been one of them this season where they have grown into the game bit by bit. But I don't think we can afford really to grow in this game against France. I think we need to get start it from the get-go, whatever we're going to be doing, and go from there.
Your mum's calling me.
Oh, it's okay. Martin saying, hey there, Martin. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. It's coming home. It's coming home. I really do hope it's coming home. I must be honest, Martin.
Me and my mum and my dad and my gran went off to Waterloo. Everything, I'm telling you now, on Saturday, everything everything that's even the trace of French is going out of my house. Boston cheese is going out. There's no croissants in my house. I'm gonna have to get rid of what else is French in the house? We got the French from Quebec and has French origin. She's right there, so I can't say it out loud. She'll have to leave. Thank God she's got a hair appointment at the time because no bad luck chance. Yeah, everything's going. What else is going? Brie. We don't have any brie in the house anyway because I don't like it. I think it tastes a bit sickly. We're going. I'm just saying though, for like Saturday though, it just there's no bad luck charms because England's playing France. Everything French has got to go out the house food wise. You've got a hair appointment. That's it. Well, you've got a hair appointment at the same time though, so it's all right. It don't bother me. It don't bother me.
Remy said, don't forget about Griezmann. He's another dangerous player. I'm not threatened by Griezmann at all. I'm really, really not.
Antoine Greasy. I don't know. He just looked with his long hair and his beard and everything. It just looks like he don't wash. So that's probably why. Antoine Griezmann, yeah. He's another one actually that don't scare me.
He doesn't. I think if you isolate his space, he's not good.
He's not a good player.
He's not good in narrow spaces.
I'm not saying I don't rate Griezmann. I do think he's a good player in La Liga. I do think he's a good player for his club. For his country, not so. He's useful. No. He's a useful player to have in the team. Yes, he can come off the bench and make an impact.
I don't think he's a good starting 11.
Yeah. He's like Divock Origi of the France team. He comes off and makes an impact by scoring a goal every now and again when need be. That's, I think, all he gets the real credit for.
I like Coffee said, did you hear about the football coming home again chant with Atomic Kitten tune?
I got a mall near me called Southgate. So actually, I might just go there and get a megaphone and start shouting it in there and then get a banning order for being disruptive. Yeah.
So what I do just to end the stream is to do our predicted starting 11 based off what Southgate will pick. So shall we stick with what Southgate's doing with the 4-2-3-1?
Yeah, let's do that. 4-2-3-1.
We don't know if he's going to change it. I think he may, but
maybe.
But I think we should go based off what he's doing right now. He's changing it from 4-2-3-1 to a 4-3-3. So I don't think he'll go 4-3-3. So he'll probably be either 4-2-3-1 or 3 at the back. But goalkeeper, I think that's going to be obvious with Pickford. There's no doubt about that. And should we just say whilst we're here that Maguire's going to be in there too?
Might as well.
It's obvious, isn't it? So right back for me is a bit of a interesting one as well, because I don't think Kyle Walker's been overly brilliant, but I don't know how Trippier has played against Mbappe in the past.
That's where it's tough, to be honest with you. Part of me wants to start Trippier in there, but then again, Walker's been playing really well as well.
I think Kyle Walker's been a bit of a hit and miss. I think he's been good, but sloppy.
I'm going to say Trippier for right back.
Trippier.
If you'd have started Walker, you'd have had an all Yorkshire centre-back duo and a right-back, because Maguire and Stones are from Sheffield and Barnsley. Walker's from Sheffield, and I'm from Donny, so there you go.
Yes. Yeah, I would probably just rather have Trippier play. I know Walker's has got that more bit of experience of playing against Mbappe, but I think overall Trippier has been on much better form this season, and Kyle Walker's been times injured, and I think when I've noticed in the games, especially when it's getting on to like 60th or 70th minute, you can tell.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's go on to the other centre back. I'm gonna have to say it's gonna be John Stones.
Yeah, no doubt.
John Stones it is. And then left back, I think that's gonna be obvious as well with Luke Shaw.
Yeah, Luke Shaw.
Luke Shaw it is. Shaw. So there. So we'll go on to the defensive midfielders, the pivot.
Declan Rice.
So yeah, Declan Rice is going in there. There's no doubt about that one. But this is where it's going to get interesting for me, and this is where I'm going to get a bit controversial, because Bellingham has been fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
However, I don't think Henderson should start, so he's dropped out for me. But Calvin Phillips, I think he's been brilliant coming off the bench, and he's got that connection with Declan Rice. And at times, I feel like there's a bit of miscommunication with Rice and Bellingham. Not that neither fault of their own, but I see some spaces at time to time, and I think we need to be as compacted as possible. So a part of me wants Bellingham to come off the bench, even though he doesn't deserve to, or him to play in the 10. But I don't think the 10 would work for him there.
No, he's not a 10. He's not a 10. He's a 10 of football, but he's not a 10 of a player. So, but part of me at the same time does want to start him. I'm sorry to say.
I'm just a bit more thinking, I don't know what I want to do in terms of them both, out of both Bellingham and Phillips, because both of them, for me, I'd equally start.
Yeah, this is tough. To be honest, I'd keep him in there just for consistency.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what it comes down to.
The consistency, 100%. Yeah. We'll put Bellingham in.
We'll put Jude in, yeah. Hey,
I love the name
Jude.
I love the name Jude.
That's Declan Rice's son's name, by the way. He had a kid and didn't tell anyone, yeah. They called his son Jude.
Oh, that's real cute. That'd be what I'd call my kid, to be honest, Jude. I love the name.
Jude Law.
So, attacking midfielder. Now,
I'm going Grealish for that, to be honest with you, because I think when he's come off the bench, he's shown skill, trickery, and a good style of play. I'd be tempted to start Grealish in the team, to be honest with you. I think he's
play there as well, can't he?
Yeah.
Foden, Mason Mount, James Maddison. He hasn't had a minute.
Yeah, Grealish.
Grealish is interesting, and he can win us fouls.
Yeah.
I'm not a massive fan of him, but let's put him in there, Jack Grealish. Yeah. Knowing Southgate, though, he has said he doesn't like playing players who hasn't played in that position for club.
Well, I think Grealish playing a more attacking role in the England team.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my argument.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's put Grealish in. That would be an interesting one. Left, Phil Foden. It's got to be Foden, surely.
Sorry, what?
Foden.
Yeah, Foden right. Foden left. Yeah.
Foden left, and then right one. That could be Saka or Rashford. This is the thing. As much as I think Rashford's been brilliant, I'd probably start Saka.
I would start Saka. Yeah, Saka.
Yes, Saka it is. Saka it is. Let's put Saka in. And then striker is going to be Kane.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not a bad looking team.
No, it's not. That's a good team, man.
I think if we do play as in that team, and on top of that, we've got on the bench there of Rashford, Mason Mount, James Maddison, Calvin Phillips, even Jordan Henderson. Yes, I am rating Jordan Henderson when I say this, and Kyle Walker. We've got Trent Alexander-Arnold there if needed.
Yeah,
We've got a decent squad overall.
we do.
And a very strong one on top.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing is about Kane, is which I completely agree with Rather, is that he needs to stop dropping deep.
Yeah, he's a striker. He's supposed to be getting up there and scoring goals. He admitted in his interview that I'm a striker and I score goals. So don't just play backwards, play forwards. Don't create the chance to score them. I mean, he's got assists, but he needs to score. It's what he's meant to do.
Mm-hmm. I to be honest, I don't mind if a striker wants to drop back to help the team. I don't mind that. But if they had the legs when England have got the ball and progressing up the pitch, then that's when I would be happy if the striker would be able to catch back up and say, right here, pass it here, I've got the ball here. But I don't think, especially in the Euros and in this tournament in itself, because Harry Kane drops so deep, it works out. We can't counter attack as well, and that allows then the wingers needing to cut in.
Yeah, we got to just have a little bit of a balance, I think, between our defence and attack. One's got to help out the other, but it has to move the ball up gradually. Maguire's had this habit of going forward far too many times.
Yes,
and good on him for doing it, but it's pissing Pickford off and it's pissing the rest of the defence off because no one else is helping him out. Everyone's too static. Like he's probably travelling more distance than someone like Saka is, and that's not good enough. So
I agree.
People have to lay back a bit. No one's talking about Maguire going forward too many times enough.
I thought it for a while because he does the same at Man United. He brings himself too far forward and then he's leaving big massive spaces. And I think if you can do that, you've got enough to do, and you're not gonna get into trouble by doing that. Fine, but you're gonna get into trouble when you've got this kind of team who's got Giroud and who's got Griezmann on his day, and you've got Mbappe to do that. So that is gonna cause problems if that was the case. So I think Maguire definitely, I agree with James. He goes too far forward and he needs to stay in his position and play in his position.
Stay back.
So we'll see onto the comments before we do wrap up. Henry said Griezmann is past, in my opinion. I'm not worried about him. It's players like Kanate in defence, Mbappe in midfield, and Giroud in the striker. I like Goffey said, Sang, Southgate, you're the one. You can't do no wrong. Football is coming home again. And
or he can commit footballing terrorism. That's what he can do.
That's very true. And hey there, Luca. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. I can't believe Brazil are out. I know, it's absolutely crazy. I do think, though, Ravi, that England has taken the chances when they have taken them. So it's just that we have had a good shooting accuracy and we've had a lot of great shots on target. But we'll wrap it up here. Hello there to Cole as well, making his appearance again. James, what's your score prediction?
I'm going to say 2-1 England.
I've gone for, in the 90, 1-1, and England to win in extra time.
Okay.
So I'm going to go 2-1 in extra time. And thank you as well, James, for coming on. Would you like to shout out your socials?
Yeah, I'm from the Anvil WHU on Twitter and Instagram. And I'm from the Anvil West Ham United on my YouTube. Okay, calm down. Yeah, that's it.
I've put your link in the description. I've also put in the comments. So if you haven't already, go and subscribe to James. I think you picked up a few subscribers today as well. So thank you, James, for coming on. I will be live now next week. I will be doing the semi-final predictions with Luca. So go and check that out. And hopefully I'll be doing another England preview if we go through. Thank you, Patrick, as well for coming through. And hey there to Torsen. So yeah, a big weekend for England. Smash that like and subscribe button, and also subscribe to James.
Certainly.
Take care, everyone, and have a nice night.
Yeah, we'll see you all soon.
Bye bye.